Thank you, Ronald.
Sure. Whenever you want me to start,
Yeah, you want to take it from here?
Okay, sure. Oh yeah, my name is Reinhold Zeigler. I am a Chief Executive Officer of several entities. Our main one, our business is called Synergy International. We have different offices now in Holland and in Asia, in China. And we have been basically working on systems design. After a long history with wind farm development, we are the sort of the third developer of the Altamont wind farms, 1980s. We were also manufacturers of wind machines, so that's a feather in our cap. We definitely made wind energy affordable, and then in the 90s got involved with photovoltaics and whole systems. You know, we're interested in the house as an ecosystem, how to recycle, how to integrate the various components together. And I think in the last 5 years, 6 years, we now have been focusing on what we call smart eco villages and smart eco cities. And so basically what we're doing now is we are integrating the important components of life support that drive the city. The primary work has been energy, energy systems, photovoltaics, wind turbines that will power, our villages and our houses. The house is the basic unit of these villages. And then comes the neighborhood. And so starting with energy, I think followed by water. We see a real need for water, and worldwide. So without water, we're toast. We can live without food for 30 days, but only 2 or 3 days without water.
Absolutely.
So that's another aspect. And then come shelter systems, various housing alternatives, from prefabricated systems to new kinds of cements and materials like hemp now is being included. We have straw bale construction, ways of doing shelter systems that are they're natural. We use native materials. We use local materials if possible. And the other part, the other really important part, of course, is agriculture. We have systems where we can grow our own food within the city. We are students of biodynamic gardening and hydrodynamic, hydroponic, aeroponic systems. And we basically are, we were originally inspired by the French intensive method, which comes out of Paris. Most people don't know that the city of Paris in the 1880s was actually exporting more food from rooftop gardens than what was coming into the city from the countryside. So that's another really key thing. Agriculture, and its vertical gardening is another really interesting area, and we have technologies developed for that, and they are in some cases patented or protected. And then I think the final area that we must say is transportation. The transportation alternatives. So that's what we were doing. We're integrating these various ecological components in the city. So that's the big picture. That's the smart eco village and city, and then we have to focus then on the various technologies that we're completing. And so I'm prepared to talk about any of those subjects. Thanks.
Those, Reinhold, thank you for that. That was a really nice sort of overview of everything. In terms of the working villages, have you got working villages around the world, or are they development centers? How is it actually? How is it moving forward?
Yes, we've been following this. Basically we started with a house in Berkeley, California, the Integral Urban House. There was also a book that basically talked about the ecosystem of a house. And so it was a full board demonstration project. You know, we have school buses coming every day, self-guided tours, seeing the aquaculture system, seeing the the clivus multrum in action, seeing how we had ripped out the concrete pavers, you know, and turned the whole backyard into a biodynamic French intensive garden. And internally, the house was powered by the sun. So yes, we have had that demonstration, and we did that in 1978. So we've had thousands of people visit us. In 1980, we were picked up by the State Department, U.S. State Department, for Peace Corps training. And so at about the same time, we had 80 acres donated to us in Occidental, California, which we turned into a third world village. And that became the training ground for Action Peace Corps. So we have the Rural Center and we have the City Center. You know, that was the beginning, and that entity was called the Farallones Institute, which means island. Farallones means island in Spanish.
Okay.
And then the overall network, you know, of course, there's the Eco Village Network from Europe, based in Copenhagen, Denmark. And then there are all these centers that, which are, they're eco-villages, such as starting with Findhorn, you know, in Scotland, and Lebensraum in Germany, Damanhur in Italy. These are sort of the main centers. And so our secretariat, our network, basically went to all those centers to see how we can help them. Because as nonprofit centers, you know, you always have to work on raising money for the operations. So we had suggestions for doing workshops, training programs, and then even enterprises. So
that's all fully integrated by now. I mean, between your interaction.
Yeah, that's right.
And I love the way that you incorporate the natural flow and the Fibonacci and all of that into the work that you do. You really follow the flow of the laws of the universe and nature itself as you're doing this. So that's something that really impressed me.
Yeah, it's ecological design. You know, I mean, in the full sense of the word. You know, I was going to just say, Gaetan, that in the beginning, you know, these were just villages, you know, where somebody put some trailer parks together, like in Findhorn. There was very little ecological about it, but you know, we basically have gone in that direction because of a reverence for nature. And so the key word is ecological design. And so a lot of what we do is we're basically copying nature. You know, this whole concept of biomimicry is where you're basically watching how nature deals with waste, and you use those same methods. You formally create an aquaponic system, or you do you do a pond, and
what we would refer to almost today as organic is